Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us today because we're tackling a topic that literally every single facility manager and business owner in the Hartford, Connecticut area wrestles with at some point. We're talking about commercial cleaning costs. It's an absolutely essential service, right? But somehow the pricing can often feel like this closely guarded secret. Well, not anymore. Today, we're breaking the whole thing down so you know exactly what you're paying for.
Here's the quick roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the cost question, move into variables driving your quote, look at routine versus specialty services, explore the transparency difference, and wrap up with next steps and savings.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the cost question. If you've ever managed a building's budget, you know this headache intimately. It's the ultimate burning question. How much does commercial cleaning actually cost in Hartford? You probably go online hoping to find a nice, simple, flat rate menu, but you don't. And honestly, there's a very good reason for that. A one-size-fits-all price just doesn't exist in the commercial cleaning industry. In fact, if a company offers you a flat rate without even looking at your space, they're probably cutting corners somewhere. To picture why a flat rate is basically impossible, let's look at two totally different spaces. On one hand, you have a small office. They maybe just need weekly service, basic waste removal, a quick vacuum, wiping down some desks. Pretty straightforward. But on the other hand, imagine a bustling restaurant that requires intensive daily cleaning just to meet strict health codes. The needs, the sheer amount of labor, the specialized supplies, they are worlds apart, which means they dictate entirely different pricing structures. Moving right along to section 2, variables driving your quote. So what actually goes into the math? Let's break down the exact formula for a custom cleaning quote. No, it's not just about size. Yes, square footage is the starting point because obviously larger spaces take more crew time and supplies. But facility type is massive. Places like schools, medical offices, or daycares have way stricter cleaning requirements than a standard office that heavily impacts the labor. Then you have the service type, how often you need the crew there. And, this one surprises a lot of people, the physical condition of your floors. I really want to zoom in on that last point for a second, because floor condition absolutely matters. Let's say you have VCT tile with years of neglected wax buildup or deeply embedded dirt. It takes significantly more labor, time, and elbow grease to strip and restore that compared to a floor that's just been maintained on a regular cycle. So the big takeaway here is that sticking to routine, baseline maintenance is ultimately so much more cost-effective than calling someone in for a high-labor rescue mission down the line. That brings us to section 3. Routine versus specialty services. Let's put everyday maintenance side by side with those high-impact specialized projects. Routine janitorial covers your daily baseline, taking out the trash, vacuuming, keeping the restrooms pristine and sanitary. Because this stuff is predictable, it's usually billed monthly or per visit. Specialty services, on the other hand, involve the heavy lifting. We're talking floor stripping, deep carpet extraction, or massive post-construction cleanup. Because these jobs are totally unique to the condition of the space, they have to be quoted per project based on their specific scope. And having one unified team handle both, it's a total game changer. Just look at this review from Spencer Graham in West Hartford. He points out that Detail Clean seamlessly handled it all. They did the routine work, so the office, quote, looks and smells lighter, but they also tackled the specialty stuff like carpets and stripping the VCT tile. And the best part? Everything matched the exact scope and price they agreed on during the site visit. That is real social proof that consistency matters. Now let's talk specifically about post-construction cleanup for a minute. If you're doing a commercial remodel or new build, the scope drives the quote way more than just the square footage. Think about it. You're tackling thick, fine sawdust that literally gets everywhere. You're wiping down massive glass surfaces, hauling out heavy construction debris. A complex restaurant renovation requires vastly more labor to clean up than just dusting a newly repainted office space. Jordal Dean's review really hits the nail on the head here. After a Hartford remodel, Jordal highlighted how the Detail Clean crew wiped every mirror and gram of glass and powered through that dreaded thick sawdust. But notice the most crucial detail. No hidden costs, just thorough cleanup. When you're stressed out trying to open a brand new space to the public, that kind of reliability is exactly what you need. That level of detail also extends to advanced hygiene, specifically with something called electrostatic fogging. Now, I know that sounds super scientific, but the concept is brilliant. This specialty service uses charged disinfectant particles to evenly coat a room. That electrical charge literally makes the disinfectant wrap around objects, getting into all those hidden crevices that standard spray and wipe methods completely miss. It's an absolute powerhouse for ongoing germ reduction. To see what that looks like in the real world,
Let's look at Charlie Harris, who runs a local Hartford daycare. They use this exact fogging service. Charlie noted, kids and parents are loving how fresh everything feels. You see, it isn't just about wiping away the visible dirt, it's about genuine peace of mind. In highly sensitive environments like schools, daycares, and medical offices, that kind of deep health and safety standard is absolutely critical.
All right, let's dive into Section 4, the transparency difference. It's one thing to offer great services, but how do they price them without all the smoke and mirrors of their competitors? Well, Detail Clean LLC uses a super simple, low-friction, three-step process to get you a risk-free quote. Step 1, a free on-site estimate. They actually walk your space to see the layout and floor conditions with their own eyes. Step 2, you get a detailed, written scope of work before anyone even touches a mop. Step 3, a precise invoice that matches the agreed amount. Zero hidden fees. You know exactly what you're getting. Another massive layer to this transparency is their local advantage. Detail Clean LLC is locally owned and operated right there in Hartford, Connecticut. We're not talking about some huge, disconnected national franchise here. When you work with them, your job gets a dedicated crew leader on site, and you, the client, have direct access to management. No calling a 1-800 number to a faraway call center. That brings an incredibly high level of accountability to the table. Which leads us to our final part, Section 5, Next Steps and Savings. So let's talk about an exclusive opportunity that's on the table right now to upgrade your facility. 50%. You heard that right. Detail Clean is offering a massive 50% off your first month when you sign up for new, recurring commercial cleaning services. Half off your first month of reliable professional cleaning in Hartford. That is a phenomenal, low-risk way to test drive a higher standard of service. See the difference for yourself and save some serious budget while you do it. It's time to take control of your facility's cleanliness and your budget. Request your free on-site estimate today by calling them directly at 860-901-1789 or visiting them at 399 Ledyard Street in Hartford. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to chew on. If your current cleaning service isn't willing to offer total pricing transparency, a written scope of work, and direct access to their local management team, what exactly are you paying for? Go get your custom quote today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.